Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Hysteria, a new series from Peacock that basically could be called 80s nostalgia. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 15. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So this is an 80s thing. It's got the satanic panic in it. And it's about a local rock band who adopts they try to become Satanist in order to help promote their shows. And the local parents are against it, but the band is very popular because, as we all know, we worship Satan in the 80s. Special guest star is Bruce Campbell as the sheriff, who I suspect dies early in the season. And it's mostly about the three kids in the band. I think they're going for a Stranger Things vibe. It doesn't look great. I have to say. New series October 18th, though. Good time to premiere it. I don't know why you call it Hysteria, but okay. It does take place in Halloween. There's a little bit of lightness to it, which kind of undermines the horror. That's kind of the way Stranger Things didn't go. There was light moments in it, but they wouldn't put that in the trailer. Like, the trailer was mostly serious. So there's also a guy with a mask killing people. So I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, you're doing nostalgia for the 80s again, and in a way that this kid from the 80s goes, oh yeah, I remember some of this stuff, but not like this. It's weird how they do nostalgia, because the people doing it really weren't from that era. Bruce Campbell's from that era. he I'm sure knows and remembers the 80s. But yeah, I don't see it playing out kind of like this. I don't see you be able to sustain a series like this. I think it'll just be nostalgia bait for a season or two, and then it'll be over. So I think it's basically Stranger Things writ small. And here's the band. I think it says Death Runk or Death Punk or Death Punch. I can't even read their horrible logo. So yeah, and they're a diverse band. And here's the evil Satanist drawing a pentagram. A perfectly drawn pentagram, by the way. I mean, that's perfect. I don't know how they were able to get it so perfectly round. But sure. I just don't see enough elements here to make this work. It's not funny enough to be like, oh, this will be fun. And it's not serious enough to go, oh, this will be kind of cool. It's just kind of like, it's kind of like a network TV version of Stranger Things, it feels like to me. And there's the slasher, if you could say him. So, not scary, not particularly funny, not particularly 80s. It's got to be funny for a young actor to be in something like this and then have to figure out what the 80s were like, and then try that as best they can, play that character and get into the 80s. But you can only do so much if you weren't born there. I wonder if the producers and writers were, or are they younger? Let's see. Let's take a look. That would be interesting. Here it is, Hysteria on the IMDb. Follows a struggling high school heavy metal band of outcasts who used the town's sudden interest in the occult to start a reputation as a satanic metal band until a strange series of events triggers a witch hunt that leads back to them. Okay, solid enough. See if we can get the writers. All right, Jamie Flanagan. Okay, Matthew Scott Kane created it. When was he born? He did Annabelle Comes Home, American Horror Story 2011. Really not a lot of info here. He's in a pentagram in that picture. But he's been working since American Horror Story 2011. Oh, he worked on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I love that show. So he goes back to 2011. So he's been working for at least... he doesn't look that old, but he might be. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture. Let's see if I can blow it up. Yeah, I would say he's not in his 50s. So he's probably a little too young to remember the 80s. Let's see. Then you got David Goldwyn. No picture of him. Doesn't seem to have a lot of credits. That would indicate to me he's not very old. And Jamie Flanagan might be that old. I don't have it. How can you not have the dates of when they were born? But let's see. He might now. His credits only go back to 2020. So I'm gonna guess he's probably not that old, but I don't know. He's a little gray in the picture. So I would say he's probably at most in his 40s. So I don't think any of these guys actually lived in the 80s. Which probably isn't good, because they only kind of sort of remember it. You know, you could do your research, don't get me wrong, but, you know, they always talk about in Hollywood having authentic voices. Well, then hire some old people when you're doing stuff in the 80s. Hire some older people when you're doing stuff in the 70s or 60s, and then, you know, after that, you're going to have to do a seance. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. I will be tomorrow at the Second Time Bookshop. This is in Mount Laurel, New Jersey at 10 a.m., beginning at 10 a.m., for a book signing for the Pineys, so come out to that. And then on Sunday, I'll be in Seabright, New Jersey for CCon, first ever comic book convention. And that goes from 10 to 4. And then at 7, of course, every Sunday, we do the live stream where we do it live. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.